Opening comment from you when you're ready.
Well, I just like to reiterate once again how proud I am of our team, everybody involved in the team, the players, number one. This was really about doing the best we could to help them have a chance to be successful and have an experience of winning a championship. And I think the coaching staff did a great job of helping these guys, and the commitment that these guys made early in the season after the Ole Miss loss to do all the things that they needed to do to be the kind of team that we could be, I can't say enough about. You know, this team, I really wanted to do the best that I could do for this team, probably as much as any team that I've ever coached, because I really did want them to have the opportunity to win this game. You got to give Clemson's team a lot of credit. They got a great football team. Their quarterback's a fabulous player. Their team played hard, and you know, I would like to congratulate them on the great season that they had. And you know, we didn't always play pretty in this game. It probably wasn't one of our best games when it just comes to flat execution. But when it comes to competing and making plays when we needed to make them, it was probably as good as it gets. And I think that's the kind of competitors that win championships, and that's probably why we're sitting here. So I think special teams was huge in this game tonight. Kickoff return for a touchdown, onside kick probably, you know, changed the momentum of the game when it was 21-21. And I just think our players took advantage of every opportunity that they had, and never been prouder of any group of guys in my life.
As a reminder, we will take questions for Coach first. Let us get a microphone to you. Give us your name and affiliation. We'll start over here in the center to our left.
Nick, Mike Ray at WBMA Birmingham. I wanted to ask you, first of all, about the onside kick. Whose idea was it on the sideline to go ahead and execute that? And secondly, Marlon Humphrey told me after the game that he drops a lot of those in practice. In fact, he said he dropped one in the walkthrough. So were you surprised that he got it?
No, I have all the confidence in the world in Marlon. I think these guys, you know, see what happens in practice. But the way we line up on kickoff with squeeze formation and try to corner kick the ball, when a team squeezes the formation like that, you know, we call it pop kick. I thought we had it in the game anytime we wanted to do it. I made the decision to do it because the score was 21-21 and we were tired on defense and weren't doing a great job of getting them stopped. And I felt like if we didn't do something or take a chance to change the momentum of the game, that, you know, we wouldn't have a chance to win. So getting that onside kick, I think, did change the momentum of the game. We scored on a big play 2 plays later, and then we had a kickoff return for a touchdown too, which was huge. So special teams was really big for us in this game.
Take our next question over here to our far left on the aisle.
Lakin Lippman with USA Today Sports. What were the moments like before and after the game with Kirby? Did you say anything to him? Did he say anything to you? Was it emotional?
Well, Kirby's been with us for a long time and done a really, really good job, and we certainly wish him the very best. I know this has been a difficult time for him to do the right thing relative to our players who have worked so hard to help him have the success that he has, that we all have. And he did a wonderful job. He really did. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate, you know, what he did for our players so that they'd have an opportunity to have this experience.
Go right here in the center section, right in the front.
Coach Paul Newberry from Associated Press. I know you mentioned the other day you don't like to think about legacies and looking back, but you now with 5 national titles, no coach has won more. That's how many Bear won. Any reflection on where you stand in history?
You know, I really hadn't thought about it. You know, after somebody asked me that question the other day, the first thing that came to my mind was my first game at Michigan State when we played Nebraska, when Tom Osborne was the coach, and we got beat like 56-7. And I had been in the NFL for 4 years, and I'm saying, we may never win a game as a college coach. And I remember running across the field, and Tom Osborne, I think they won the national championship the year before and maybe that year too. He said, "You're not as bad as you think." So that's the first thing that comes to my mind. you know. So I learned a lesson that day. And, you know, as long as you do this, it's always about your next play. It's always about the next game. So I've never really ever thought too much about all that. I have a tremendous amount of appreciation for all the players who have played for us, came to our school, bought into our program, did the things that they needed to do to have a chance to experience a championship, whether it was at LSU or the four at Alabama. So that's where most of my appreciation lies, is with the players.
We'll go into our far left section in the very back row.
Dan Wetzel, Yahoo Sports. From that day against Nebraska, the game has changed dramatically, particularly strategically. You have innovated along with that, but it seems you have kept a core system in how you recruit, who you recruit, how you coach players, how you relate to players. Why do you believe that's remaining so successful, even as so much around the game has changed?
Well, you know, my college coach had the same philosophy, and I felt like the things that he did to help me be successful, and I'm talking about Don James, because he taught us a lot of lessons of life. And, you know, we want these guys to succeed, first of all, as people, make the right choices and decisions, the best choices and decisions, have the right thoughts, habits, and priorities that help them make those choices and decisions so they can take advantage of their gifts. First of all, as people. Be more successful in life for having been involved in the program. And all the people in our organization, that's what they work to try to help them do. We want them to all develop a career off the field so that they graduate from school and have a better opportunity to be successful in life. And we have one of the highest graduation rates in the country and the best in our conference. And we want to help them develop as football players. And there's a lot of lessons that you can learn on work ethic, overcoming adversity, perseverance, consistency and performance, all kinds of things that come with the games that these guys play. And I think those things can all be beneficial to help them be more successful in life as well. And I want to see every guy have an outstanding career. And, you know, sometimes people criticize us and say we're all like business. But I'm going to tell you what, there were more players in the locker room that played for us at Alabama at this game today than I'll bet you anybody's ever had at a game. And that's because they had a great experience at Alabama. They're great ambassadors for the program. We have a tremendous amount of respect for them, and I think they sort of respect the things that they learned. But we are trying to create value for players so that they can have a better chance to be successful. And that's always going to come first to me.
We're going to go next over here on the far right in the aisle.
Coach, could you talk about what went into, Graham Watson, Yahoo Sports. Could you talk about what went into getting O.J. Howard more involved today in this game and even in the semifinal game?
Well, you know, O.J., quite honestly, should have been more involved all year long. And, you know, sometimes he was open and we didn't get him the ball. But I think the last two games have been breakout games for him in terms of what he's capable of and what he can do. And, you know, I would say it's bad coaching on my part that he didn't have the opportunity to do that all year long, because he is really a good athlete, and he's improved tremendously as a player this year. He's improved his blocking. And, you know, there were times when, as Jake was developing, we were protecting sort of what we did. And I think that affected O.J. maybe a little bit in terms of what his production was. But I can tell you that there was not one time that he ever complained about it, and not one time did he ever not go out there and do whatever the coach asked him to do, even when he wasn't catching a lot of passes or scoring a lot of touchdowns.
Next question in our center section, very front row.
Ivan Mazel, ESPN.com. Nick, a couple of your assistants said one reason that you made the call of the onside kick was that you wouldn't care what anybody said if it failed. And I'm curious if you consider it a gutsy call, and is it a call you would have made as a younger head coach?
Look, I felt pretty good about our chances of getting the onside kick because Griff kicks it well. We get it in practice most of the time. And I didn't think it was, I had confidence in the players. I trusted them that they would go out and execute it and do it. I mean, if we didn't get it, they'd have got the ball on a 45 or 50-yard line. So it's not really like it would have been the end of the world. But it was worth the risk, I felt. But it was calculated on the fact that I thought we could execute it. And the way they lined up, it was available to us. So, and it was something that I knew that we would use in this game if we needed to.
Take our next question in the way back on the riser.
Tom and Eno, WVTM TV in Birmingham. Nick, for you, we spoke with Kenyon Drake earlier this week about how he had so much perseverance to fight through injuries and setbacks. How nice was it for you to see him contribute in this game and make a big play, knowing what he's been through, especially with injuries?
Well, Kenyon's been through a lot, and, you know, we thought he would have a tremendous breakout season. I mean, when the season started, I didn't know who would be more productive, Derrick Henry or Kenyon Drake. I thought they both would be. You know, Kenyon sort of fought where there was hamstrings and all kinds of injuries, and I think he got a little frustrated and put a lot of pressure on himself, and we got him settled down in that, and he started to be productive, and as soon as he started to be productive, he broke his arm, so he missed a couple games, but, you know, he's really done a great job for us all year in whatever his role has been. I always like to see guys that are seniors who have been great contributors in the program do something special that's going to be a great memory to them, and that kickoff return was really something special.
We'll go back over here to our left in the second row on the aisle.
Stuart Randall from Fox Sports. Nick, the 3 BCS championship games you coached in here at Alabama, mostly you guys were in control in the fourth quarter. Obviously, this one was a dogfight going into it and throughout. You had to deal with a quarterback like Deshaun Watson all game. Simply put, how hard was this national championship?
It was tough. It really was. I think offensively we did a nice job of. We knew it'd be a little big, I call it, in this game. They do a lot of pressuring, stunt linebackers. We knew that sometimes that they would give us some negative plays. Wasn't happy about the sacks, but I also knew that we would be able to make some big plays against them because of the way they played, and I think that was a really big in this game. We felt like we had to win special teams in this game. We thought, to be honest with you, that we could do a better job against their quarterback than what we did. He did a fantastic job in the game. We didn't cover as well as we're capable of, and we weren't able to handle them up front with our rushers. And I think they had 80-some plays, and we got tired probably in the second quarter. And once that happened, it was even worse. So, you know, we like to play more man-to-man, but when you play against such an athletic quarterback and you're playing man-to-man, nobody's looking at the quarterback, so that makes it tough. And when we did play zone tonight, we didn't do a very good job. We didn't tackle very well and break on the ball like we needed to. He extended some plays and made some big plays, but the guy's a fantastic player. So I think when you play players like this, the whole team has to win. You know, it's not just the defense stopping him. It's the offense doing what they need to do, making plays on special teams that you need to make. So, and that's what we were able to do in this game. And didn't control him as well as we'd like. And obviously, you know, we thought that, you know, we could, at least in the end, milk the clock so they wouldn't score again. But 12 seconds onside kick was over.
Next question again, same section. Dennis?
Dennis Dodd, CBS Sports. Nick, John Plott and some of your friends and your agent were joking about 24 hours. You know, this is going to be gone in 24 hours. You're going to go recruiting. When exactly will you turn the page and get out on the road and start recruiting and try to do it all over again?
We start school on Wednesday. So we have a meeting with the seniors at 2 o'clock and a meeting with the rest of the players that are coming back at 3 o'clock. Not that we're really going to start planning any strategy for next season already, but this has been long. 15 games for college football players, and I think I noticed that we did not have the same juice in this game that we had in the last game against Michigan State, and I think we were really locked in the Michigan State game. We really practiced well for that game. And I think the players struggled to maintain that, even though they were playing for a national championship. It's a long time for young players who aren't used to playing this many games to sort of maintain that. And, we had some difficult times practicing the way we felt like we needed to practice for this game. And I told the players, I said, look, hard practice, easy game. Easy practice, hard game. I told all the big guys, if you don't rush and run to the ball every time and what we're doing in practice, you're going to die in the game. Because this is the kind of game we got to play. So they got 40 points.
We're going to take our last question for Coach right here in the center section over to your left.
Nick, going back to the onside kick one more time, what exactly was it that you saw? Because Lane said that you'd seen something in the first half that made you decide to go ahead and do it in the second half.
Look, we have fakes we have a fake field goal. We have a fake when we punt. We have an onside kick, a surprise onside kick. So basically, we have someone assigned in the press box who's saying, did they line up like we thought they would? Do we have the play that we want in any of these circumstances? So we saw that we had that the first time they lined up. They deferred. All right, we received. But the first time that we kicked off, after Derek's touchdown, we said, okay, we got that. All right, if we want to try that, we think we have a good chance because of the spacing on the field that's available to us. And so it worked. But let me say this. You don't look like the type that would do it to me. But if we wouldn't have got that, y'all be killing me now.
Coach, congratulations and thanks. We'll let you head back.
All right, good.